Hey, thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the video. In today's video, I'm going to be checking out, doing some testing and reviewing of the Genmitsu 4040 Reno CNC machine. It's a relatively new offering from Genmitsu. It's only been out a few months or so, and they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to check it out. So here it is. I've already put it all together. I didn't do any kind of video or anything as far as the unboxing or assembly. As usual, Sane Smart does a really good job with their instruction manual, showing you how to put it together. Very detailed instructions with some little blow-ups here that can kind of tell you what you need to do. So I didn't do any video or anything like that. It's you shouldn't have any problems with putting this together. But again, relatively new CNC machine. Again, by the name here, 4040 Reno, it is a 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter working size machine with about a 3-inch Z height. And one thing with the Z height, it is a little bit adjustable as far as the mounting plate on the Z axis here. If you can see this little notch right here, you can actually move this whole entire plate up and mount it a little higher. And I imagine that's to account for like a palm router or a spindle if you want to change this out, because they do make another bracket here for you to upgrade to a spindle or a router. And that's a pretty good feature to have right there. And you can see the MDF bed, nice powder coated textured aluminum finish, very sturdy frame. It's a belt driven machine on the X and Y and axis. The Z axis says that, I believe it's a 4mm lead screw there. So it's a very quiet running machine, not loud at all. I mean, obviously when you turn the spindle on, it's going to be a little bit louder. But there's a 32-bit control board with NEMA 17 stepper motors. And I think it has a max speed of around 2,000 millimeters or 78 inches per minute. Let's see, it has limit switches all around, so again, you don't have to worry too much about crashing your carriage and Z spindle there. And it's pretty easy to set up. Again, I didn't take any video or anything, but it was less than an hour to get this all put together, and I wasn't really rushing. So imagine if you wanted to limit the time you spent putting it together, you could probably get it down to about a half an hour. But I really wasn't in much of a hurry. I was just taking my time, just checking out the manual and everything, just to kind of get a good idea of how everything goes together. And you can see here some of the accessories that it comes with already, just the wrenches, the Z probe, nice box of your fasteners and accessories to go in there, a box of bits and your USB stick. Over here you have the control board, and you can see here it is compatible with an offline controller. And then over here you'll notice also for where it says A axis, that is if you want to get the lost my thought there, but if you want to do the rotary axis on it, so the 4th axis for the rotary accessory, so you can go ahead and put that in there. I think this machine is already pre-set up, or it's mostly plug and play for the rotary axis. And unlike some of the other machines where it takes a little bit more complicated setup to do. And let's see here. I'm trying to think of some other options here. The Z probe is connected into the back here in that little box here. And just with the sturdiness of the machine and the nice heavy duty aluminum extrusion, this isn't your typical 2020 aluminum or anything like that. It's all custom made for this machine, but again, very similar to the 4040 Pro and the 6050 as far as just the overall look of the machine. And again, just to go over some of the other upgrades you can do, aside from the spindle carriage there that you can get a larger mount, you do have the dust shoe that's compatible with the with the stock spindle, a 75-watt spindle there. It is also compatible to connect one of the Genmitsu lasers to it, so you can also do that and have it be a little more versatile. But other than that, I think it pretty much takes care of most of the specifications that that it has. Other than just the emergency stop button over here. It does have an e-stop button on it. It's compatible with all the standard CNC controllers, the candle or universal G-code sender. I've already set up a little project to do in easel, just to show you how basic and easy and simple this is to use. I have a little piece of plywood there already mounted to the board. I'm just going to use some double-sided woodworking tape to hold that down because I'm not cutting straight through. Just going to do a quick little design just to show you the ease and simplicity of the machine. So, you know, you can get a good idea of what it can do. But then again, also that it's far more capable than just a basic project that I'm going to show you today. So I'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up and set up, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, well, as you can see here, this is the project that I'm going to do here in easel. And I don't have the machine set up for easel to control the machine. I haven't gotten into that far into it, but you can do that. I'm just going to go ahead and use Candle to run the machine for this project here. But as you can see, just a kind of a quick little raised text sign here. Okay, well here are the finished projects for the 4040 Reno machine. As you could see earlier in the video that I swapped out the 1/2 inch plywood for a piece of walnut, and then I also did a 3D carving in cherry of an Easter egg and rabbit, Easter bunny. Now on the two projects here, for the clearing pass or the roughing pass on the egg, I used a 1/8 inch O-flute bit and then a 1/32 tapered ball nose there for the finish pass. And the finish pass was quite a long time. It was probably about 5 hours because I used a really small step over of I believe it was like 0.0125 or something like that. It was really small. I'll check my settings and then put that in the description or the video. So it did take quite a long time, but as you can see here, you know, it is pretty well smooth. I didn't have to do too much sanding except for in that deep pocket there, the taper ball nose. It doesn't get quite on the sides very well. When it goes into deep pockets like that, the taper ball nose doesn't quite do a really smooth, clean cut in the side walls of deep pockets. So other than that, it turned out pretty well. Like I said, it was a pretty long time. The roughing pass was probably only an hour or so for that. But then on the piece of walnut there, the 4040 Reno text, that was, I believe I set that depth at 0.15 inches deep, and I ran that at 75 inches per minute with the maximum spindle speed of, I believe it's 10,000 RPM or 9,000 RPM. I'll double check that also off the top of my head. I don't recall. But so I ran that pretty fast. I just wanted to see how well the machine does at the maximum speed. So no, if I'm going to test it and check it out, I'm not going to go too conservative on the speeds and feeds anyway. And I think I set the depth per pass. I believe that was at a 1/16 of an inch or a little more than that, I believe. So again, I'll double check those and put those in the description. And then for the 3D carving, I ran that at the maximum speed also of right around 75 to 78 inches per minute, which that is the top speed on the machine of around 2,000 millimeters per minute. So again, you could hear some chatter in the bits occasionally. Just depending on which way the bit was moving, the machine was moving, if it was moving left or right and going against the grain or with the grain. But again, I wanted to check out and see how well it held up. It didn't really affect the quality of the carve, I believe. So, I think it held up pretty well. Again, with this motor on this machine, you're not going to go really fast anyway, because of it only being a 75 watt spindle and the limitations on the machine's maximum speed. So, it is what it is. You just got to take shallow cuts and more passes, which again is going to take a lot longer to do projects. If you're going to go running real detailed, deep carved projects, it's just going to take you a long time. But other than that, this machine, I believe, is a pretty good starter machine if you're interested in getting into the CNC world and you're not sure where to start. This is a good option for you. Again, it comes in at around, I think, $450 in price. And then with the upgrades, you can definitely upgrade the spindle. You just need a new mount. You can get dust shoe with it. And I believe you can connect a laser to it. So there are options for it. And with the size, again, it is a little bit bigger than the 4030 machines as far as the depth of the Y-axis working area. It's about 4 inches deeper. And then again, it's bigger than a 3018. So if you're looking at getting the CNC, but you think a 3018 might be too small, for an extra 50 to $100, you can jump up to this machine to see if it works for you, and then just upgrade from there if you need to, without spending 3 times the cost on a 4030 or a larger machine. So I think it's very cost effective, very simple machine, efficient machine in design and quality. So I don't think you can go wrong with this machine at all. So other than that, I don't think I really missed anything earlier as far as detailing the machine and specifications and all that. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know, or any specific projects you want to see. I think I might do an acrylic project with it yet, just to see how well that turns out, or maybe something with a drag bit on aluminum too. So again, if you want something specific just to show the capabilities of the machine, let me know. But other than that, thanks for watching. See you next time.